Who, what, who?
Nothing.
All right. Due to weather conditions, I was 6 minutes late getting up here to the desk where my stuff was already located. So, without further ado, we will call the November 13th, 2025 Art Commission meeting to order at 5:06 PM. So we'll do the roll call. Carla.
Here.
JR, me, Robert. Here. Valerie.
Here.
Cynthia Mason, excused. Tracy.
Here.
Therese, excused. Reese.
Here.
And Councilmember Wigginstein, he said he was going to try to make it, but he ain't here. So with that, we'll move on to item 2, which is the approval of the agenda. Everybody's got it in front of them. And if everybody's happy with the agenda,
I approve the minutes as it's written.
no, just the agenda. We'll get to the
Oh,
minute.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
We'll move right to the minute. Are you happy with the agenda?
The agenda, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's what, that's what I meant, agenda.
I make a second to approve the agenda.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, agenda's approved. Now we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. Everybody saw the minutes? And if everybody's happy with those, there's a lot, because we talked about a lot of stuff. And I can tell you right now that we're still going to be talking about a lot of stuff.
I'll approve these minutes.
You want to make the, okay, all in favor of approving those? Okay, onward, public comment. I don't even know, do we have any public comments?
We have not received any for your review, and if there's no one here tonight.
All right. In that case, we'll move to item number 5, discussion, action, presentation, report items, public art discussion with renowned artist Richard Nash.
Is this my location? Okay.
And it's a tradition that you lead off by singing the Oak Harbor fight song. We will forego that and go straight into the, all in favor of, okay.
I think we need to spare you.
Okay.
Anyway, I just became aware of the fact that my newsletter got mixed in with the other information that I was sending about the sculptures down at Windjammer Park. So apologies for that, but I hope you enjoy it. I don't know if you've had time to look through this. I spent the first part of it kind of tooting my own horn, I guess. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew I wasn't working in a vacuum, and that I've spent a lot of time working on different projects throughout the city, art-related, for many, many years now. And the issue at hand, as I stated here, was to be crystal clear that this wasn't casting blame on anybody. It's just that some things have kind of been left to go to a really bad state in the park. So I kind of talked about my experiences with Windjammer Park and all that sort of thing. And then I think perhaps one of the more poignant things in the whole presentation was the article on the Teachers Tribute Garden, where the article talked about how important it was, the Teachers Tribute Garden, to the city and to members of the city. And if you look through it and you get to the pictures of the before and after, you'll notice the park where it says Teachers Tribute Garden 2014-15, and you can see the living wonderful madronas, and you can see the plantings, the red twigs, and you can also see the Leave a Book, Take a Book which it seemed fitting to have that at the Teachers Tribute Garden. And there's some close-ups of the Teachers Tribute Garden not soon after it was dedicated by the city. And then you turn the page and you'll see a picture of it now. All the madronas have deceased. The garden is in very bad shape. It hasn't been taken care of at all. The pavers have either been covered up by landscaping debris, and the sculpture itself is in need of scrubbing. And this has been going on for years now. The Leave a Book, Take a Book, the plexiglass doors that were in it have disappeared. And there's just been zero attention paid to maintaining the garden. A bench was put in, which as an artist, I find it nice that there's a bench, but it's way too close to the sculpture. It should be removed to another location inside the garden if the city decides they want to do that. So the worst, I mean, it's just absolutely horrific what's happened to that space. And it was a really beautiful space at one time. Wally Funk, if you read the article, was so pleased with the beautiful site and so on. The next one, which is the founder's sculpture, isn't in nearly as bad a shape, but it also has lost a lot of its presence there. Things have not been kept very clean. And the sculpture itself, and I take credit for this mistake, the Corten steel is not supposed to bleed. And I'm not sure if some other metal got mixed in with it when it was being fabricated or what. But I was thinking that, I don't know if you can see the picture. I should have numbered the pages. But anyway, there's a picture of the sculpture at the base, and you can see the bleed of the rust. And I'm thinking that two things could help. One is we could put some bird spikes on top of each one of the towers. And the other thing is we could actually put some kind of a paint on the concrete that would be easier to clean than trying to clean the concrete itself. And also, I was going to suggest that the last page of what I meant to show you all were the grasses that have been planted around the sewage treatment plant. And I thought that would be, because that theme seems to be present in many places in Windjammer Park, that it made sense maybe to use that at least as a temporary fix for the way that the different sculpture sites look right now. I mean, there's more that should be done. I don't believe the lights are working anymore, the night lights on the founder sculpture. And those were they were set up on a timer or on a light sensitive system, and I don't even know where the box is now that was controlling that. It's kind of disappeared from view too, but I thought it used to be closer to the actual site itself. But it could be in the West Side kitchen for all I know. But those are some things that I thought should probably be addressed. Let's see. So in essence, what I'm looking for from the Arts Commission is a way to maintain not just the sculptures that I was involved with, but any sculptures in the park that might be getting the same kind of neglect or have been getting some neglect, and try to figure out how to get people, volunteers, the city, whatever, on board to maintain the areas. We're becoming, as you know by the Angel of Creativity down there, I mean, we are becoming a destination for artwork. And I think it's really important that all the art be kept in as optimal, keep the appearance as optimal as possible. Do you have a question or anything yet? Or am I doing okay?
Well, I want to thank you for all of your work and all of your effort for the community. I will say I've lived here for almost 7 years now, and I had no idea that that park was a teacher appreciation park.
Oh,
My
okay.
kids and I have sat in there with the dog, had lunch. We looked at all the art.
Yeah.
Didn't know that that's what that was for. So now I can tell them that. So thank you for that. I think all of your ideas and suggestions are great. The only idea I think I might have is maybe a signage for that teacher appreciation park, so we know that that's what it is for. If it's
Right,
not a
that's-
placard or like an arch.
It
kind of-
says on the front of the Leave a Book, Take a Book, it says Teachers Tribute Garden.
And I didn't even know that was
Yeah.
there, to be honest, until you just said the pictures. I was like, whoa, because I have those all around our neighborhood as well. So I thank you for so much for you do for the community.
Well,
Okay, thank you. No, yeah, but keep
I'm
talking.
pretty close, but I did want to, there's well, maybe I can address this after we get done with this part, but there were, I'll just say it now. There's a lot of us in the community, including you guys, because this is all volunteer, right? You guys don't get paid, right? Okay. And it's just that there's a lot of us in the community that have been donating. I can't tell you how many hundreds and hundreds of hours I've got on different projects throughout the city. The sculpture up at the high school, the Angel of Creativity, my own pieces in town, this piece that we have at the high school that the kids fabricated, that we spent a lot of time on, and I just really am trying to find a way for the city to maybe appreciate those volunteers, not necessarily me, but there's a lot of people who give a lot, and I don't think, it'd be nice to get just a little piece of paper, or maybe have some kind of a picnic or something to celebrate all the volunteers. People like Miles Concrete and Lanco Northwest have donated thousands and thousands of dollars and many free labor things, and I don't think they've been acknowledged at all, except at the dedication, which is, it's good, but it's not something you can take home and put on a wall or something like that, So anyway, that's kind of my 2 bits worth and all that. And as you probably knew from reading, I've been here since 1972, taught 30 years, art 30 years in the secondary schools, and taught at Skagit Valley College, and the rest is all there too. So anyway, I'm open to questions or comments.
Thanks, Richard, for coming and bringing this to our attention. It's funny because I walk that park, and I walked by that, and I thought, why are those dead trees there? That is so weird. Were they originally there, or were they planted?
No, I
They
don't
were-
know the story, the history. They were, there was a disease for madronas
Okay.
going through the neighborhood here a while back, and I don't know if that got them, or
Yeah.
if it was just moving dirt around for the park, or what. But yeah, they're pretty dead.
Yeah. I definitely think we need to pay attention to it and help. I don't mind the Corton bleeding. I don't think that's such an issue, but the lights should be working, and,
Right.
and the landscaping should be
Okay.
replenished and taken care of.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I'll work with you on that, or work with everybody here, and we'll get it figured out, in my mind.
Tracy.
Thank you, Richard. I so appreciate, I had no idea. This is kind of embarrassing. And I appreciated that you spent a lot of time putting this together for us so that we could understand the situation very clearly. My question, I guess, being a little bit new to some of the process of the Parks Department and their interaction with art, maybe Brian, you could help me understand what is the normal process or plan to maintain the art around town.
We don't have a we don't have like a regular maintenance schedule. I know Richard and Brandon met a couple years ago just to talk mostly around the Acorn statue. Is that right? And
I
maintenance
think
of
Teresa's
that.
probably more involved with that. Yeah, that was the
Yep.
Pat,
Yeah.
Pat's piece, yeah.
Yeah. But it'd probably be a good idea for us to work with Richard and develop some kind of a maintenance schedule of what that looks like if the art pieces require regular maintenance. I agree with the rust bleeding. That's kind of unusual. And so whether we put a clear coating on that or address it that in some way, that's an easy fix. As far as like other pieces, yeah, we can develop something.
When you were with your other city, do you have an example that you worked with of a plan like that?
No, most art pieces don't require like regular maintenance other than maybe a washing if the medium is something that, requires that. Usually you want to be careful with doing too much of any kind of messing with it. If an art piece needed like touch up, normally we would go and contact the artist to come and do that.
What about the landscaping?
I'll have to work with Brandon on that.
So there's not a follow-up plan then with things like this that include landscaping around the art?
The landscaping is just the normal park maintenance that staff do. I don't think there's any kind of special site plan for the art pieces, but that's something that we could look at putting together.
Thanks. Thank you.
Valerie?
Would it be something moving forward that when they submit for an art project or a sculpture that they put in what they think the maintenance process would be for that project or sculpture? And is that something that we might need to go back and look at everything that's within the city now and see if, like, even if they don't need something every 6 months or once a year, that somebody goes by, looks at it, okay, it looks okay, they submit it to the artist, or the artist looks at it, whatever the
Right.
case may be, and then it goes like that.
Yeah, we have a good example of that with the Angel of Creativity statue. So I think probably in the void of having a department previously, that was never put on anyone's radar. There wasn't budget allocated for it. We have a small budget item for arts maintenance in the arts fund, but I don't think there's really a work plan in place to utilize that as far as like a rotational, ongoing preventive maintenance program. That mostly is addressing things like if there's something that breaks or, a major repair that needs to happen. So if we want,
I only
it
ask-
definitely is.
It's like, because a lot of our sculptures are near water or things that get more damage, and so that's why I think they might need to have more attention.
Yeah,
Or-
it's definitely something that we should add. A lot of people, especially with like capital projects, we just think about the one-time cost of installation, but not the perpetual maintenance into perpetuity of the cost and time and allocation that's going to be required to keep that up. If it does have some kind of a maintenance ongoing requirement.
There's also just the simple scrubbing it down every once in a while, I guess. That would not necessarily, I don't know, is that maintenance or just, because it's not like something you have to bolster up the foundation or, seal off any metals or anything like that. Just scrub it down.
Brian, who do we have to talk to fix this? I mean, that's the simple thing is, like you said, it's embarrassing. You're very nice of you, very kind of you to not,
Thank you.
it's just, when you get nice things, somebody's got to take care of them, and I think we've all neglected that. So that in mind, do we get with Brandon, do we get with you, do we get Parks and Rec, or, to say, what's the way ahead to fix this, to clean it up for one, and at a minimum, just to let you know that we're not going to let this go, I would say we put this on the agenda. It'll remain on our agenda until it's done.
You know, it's kind of interesting to me too, because, I mean, you've got all the new architecture down there, and the contemporary art really is complementary to the architecture. But all of those buildings, the West Side Kitchen, the East Side Kitchen, everything down there, all the bathrooms and everything are maintained. And it just seems like if it's possible, it seems like that the sculpture and so on should just maybe be a part of that same routine. I don't think most of them require an awful lot of work. And the pieces that I have down there are done in Corten steel, which is kind of a self-healing thing in a funny sort of way, because the Corten's designed to continue to develop a patina. And every time something happens to it, that patina will return. And they use it for shipping containers because it's so durable. You know, it's a really tough material. So that's a possibility, if you could just kind of roll it in. And you would know much better than I am if that would really be complicating things or not. But all of the sculptures on Pioneer Way look fine. I mean, I think they've been pretty well maintained. It's just the stuff that kind of gets lost in the park, you know?
I know we're not going to solve it right
Right,
on this
right.
minute, but if you didn't come and do this right now, it would have just flown by
Kept
and
going, okay.
it would have kept going. So, and that's nobody wants that.
Yeah, and I'm doing this for people like Wally Funk, who donated
No.
the sculpture, and his and the many people who really appreciated the Teachers Tribute Garden. And now if they go there, it's almost enough to make you cry.
And then the other thing that you brought up that that is pretty cool when you said, I just wrote down artist appreciation. I don't know who these people are that
Yeah.
have given all these hours.
Not just
But-
the artists, but just any
Right.
volunteers, yeah.
But yes, the volunteers, you bring up a very good point, and that's something that we in a subcommittee, it's like, that's a good idea. We ought to figure out how to do something like that.
And I think it will help perpetuate your volunteers too.
Yes,
Yeah. And one more thing, if I may.
you may.
Regarding the sculpture of the Angel of Creativity, during the process, I made contact with Ireland, in Dublin, who has another sculpture by Sebastian, the sculptor for the Angel of Creativity. And so they have a sculpture that is not quite as tall as Angel, but I actually was talking to them about pairing with them as kind of a sister city. And I had good responses, okay? I had really good responses from them, but nobody has followed through from our end. And I can get you the information. I don't want to take this over. My plate's full. But I really think it would be great to have a sister city like Dublin, Ireland. And we even used the color. We changed the color from red, which was, I think, a bad color for downtown on the beach. And we used the Awaiting the Mariner, which was the name of the sculpture in Dublin by Sebastian. We used that color for ours. And so anyway, there's just been a lot of little things like that we've worked at really hard at developing these relationships, and they've just kind of fallen by the wayside. So if you would like, I can send you the last letters.
Absolutely.
Okay, do you want me to send them to you directly?
Sure.
Okay.
We would love to dive into this.
Okay.
What else, Matt? You got any more brilliant ideas? What?
I think I should probably stop.
No,
for
I
right
think
now.
you should come. I think you should come take this chair right
No,
here.
thank you. But thank you for doing the job, and I really appreciate this as a first step. I was hoping this would be something that we could go forward with.
It's a slam dunk, easy, and the only thing I can't say is, yep, we'll get it tomorrow, but
Right.
we have to figure it out. And Brian, we'll figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, the way that the Angel of Creativity was handled, once we got to a point where we could go forward with it, was great. We had no problem, really like what we ended up with. And people like Ram Construction, again, they did just a super job. and they took a real hit on the money end, but they really supported George Drake, who was in fact the person who donated the sculpture to the city. $500,000, so. Well, am I done? Time for dinner. Thank you actually, first it's wine and cheese.
Thank you,
Thank you
Richard.
very
Are you going out to
This
the
was
golf
wonderful.
club?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's because
I'm
they're
going
having,
home.
oh, okay, because they're doing wine and cheese out at the art, golf
Nope.
club.
Anyway, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Brian, is there a next step that we talk about tonight of what to do with this, or is this, we just take this on?
No, I emailed Brandon. We'll meet with Richard. I think we need to evaluate and understand better what the needs are, and what resources would be required to what the ask is, and then if we have the bandwidth and ability to
And then,
meet that,
where is it?
or-
Is it in our budget, is that money that was in the budget someplace to do general maintenance? And is it something that we share with the Parks and Rec when it comes to like trees and shrubberies?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, we have a repair and maintenance line for 5,000 that could be utilized for those kind of activities.
It seems like it's just mainly landscaping and lighting. If we could figure out the lighting for the founders and then landscape around the teacher one, and I would certainly help with that.
And I don't know, I think we probably just need to go take a look at it.
Yeah.
right?
Because there's one of
Cut
this,
those dead trees
the
down.
preventative stuff, and then there's probably like the proactive stuff where like, oh, we didn't know, maybe it's like, I know my homeowners association, it's like, okay, let's do our annual walk to find out what trees are gonna come down or what maintenance needs to be done. Maybe it's, we do something along those lines too.
How about we assign, if one or two of you want to volunteer to meet with us and Richard, and we'll go take a look at things and have a discussion and see what's needed.
The Honorable Tracy, yeah. Carla's on it.
Okay.
I'll volunteer with Carla.
Tracy's on it. All right, let's move on to item B, art project proposal from Whidbey Playhouse, the Polymers Head. Now, both of these proposals, I know we got the monkey form, yeah, so the Survey Monkeys to go about it, and I personally didn't have the time to go look at of all the proposals. But that being said, because this is our first hack at knocking some of these things out, and I know, Liz, you've got a new idea or an idea of how we want to proceed forward on these things. Go.
I've just been working to organize how we share the files and the information with you so that you can get it all together in one place. So I've created a Teams channel. You don't have to be a user of Microsoft Teams to be able to work with and access it, but it's basically creating the shared file that I'll send a link to you, and when you click on that link, you will be able to see each of them. Well, and I'll go ahead and let me do a screen share this meeting, share this window. Okay. All right, you're able to see this. So I'll send you a link. When you click the link, this is what you'll see. And it'll have each of the submissions that have been received here. And so it's always the same link, so you can bookmark that link, save that link. Then I can just send out an email or something that says, hey, a new submission has been uploaded or added. It's here, and I can resend that link to you in that email. And then what will happen when you click on said link, it'll open up to the submission, a PDF of the submission form for you to peruse. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger for your screen. Nice.
Oh, perfect.
So here's your submission PDF that you can review the project that was submitted. And then at the top, I've added a link. Click here for online rating sheet for this submission. And so each link is specific for that submission. So when you click it, open up the SurveyMonkey, and you'll, make sure that it's titled that same thing. I'll make sure that it's titled the same thing, but then, this is the specific online SurveyMonkey rating for that form. So it'll take you right where you need to be. You can have your windows next to each other and review the submission and do the rating right there, and then you just fill it in, complete, and hit done. And that's how you'll access and do the rating.
Great job. I love
So-
it.
And then I've created a art proposal tracking sheet, so you would be able to go in there too to see, and right now, what's in there is just the projects that we've received, when they received, their form number, and when you guys have access to them, that type of thing. But you'll be able to go in, and so, it might be helpful to you if you would like. I could see it being helpful. We could have tabs on there for each commissioner, so you can kind of track to see, okay, where am I at on mine? Because I'm thinking that's probably the next step as you continue to get these, of how you'll keep them straight. You'll come in here and you'll see them all, but you'll say, which ones have I done? And as we get them and as they work through the system, I'll create folders and move them. Okay, this one's been reviewed, or this one's pending, and we can save them in folders. We just have 4 now, and they're all in the same place in life, so they're all just right here. But this will be the database that we will organize everything into, and that you'll have access to. But we could make a tab for each commissioner, and you can go in and, once you're completed, and hit completed, or your notes, whatever you want, so that way that can be your space to go to and say, where did I leave off? How many have I done? Where am I at in life? So does that seem like a system that'll work for you to?
Scratch, the reason we were 6 minutes late is because I was over there talking to you, because I was in my little, I wanted to see this. I want to have access to this so that we can, so the minute somebody hits send, if somebody hits send tonight, there it is, and
It'll take a minute to get
yeah,
here.
but you know where
It's not
I'm going. I don't
automatic.
have to wait
Sure.
a month or a week or to see it on the agenda. It would be, it's on us to start reviewing these things as they come in. It's like, okay, hey, you got a new one, and everyone should say, okay, on it. I'm going to review it and take a look at it. Go.
And then the
Tracy.
process
Oh.
would still continue. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just was going to ask, and maybe you were just going to say that, what I found, and I did go through both, there's 2 comments. One is, I saw an evaluation question that was not part of the form that they filled out. So I want to talk about that, because I don't see the form, so I can't remember which one is
So are you
not.
saying there was something on the commission rating sheet that was
Yep.
not on the submission form?
Yep.
Okay, we can take a look at that right now if you'd like.
Yep. And then the second thing was, I really wanted to see a tally of the SurveyMonkey.
Yes.
Like, okay, where are we all,
So that would happen.
Rating.
That would happen once we receive them all, or like we talked
I
about,
see.
giving a 1-week window or having the deadline, and then once that passed, we would gather that information and then share out. Yes. So that still would be part of it, but it wouldn't just be an automatic there, right? And we want to make sure that we have everyone's in before we do that, because like right now there's I think 5 or 6 who have done one of them, but not everyone. And I don't want to share out the survey results and have that influence anybody who hasn't completed them.
No, good point. But also maybe we could, if you wanted us to help, for lack of a better word, nag people to finish them, you could maybe, let us all know.
And that's something, I can just follow up with, hey, like, ping you out, looks like you've still got one pending. But also I think we do set those deadlines, and as long as we have, a quorum amount of people who have reviewed it, that would be enough to suffice moving it forward, so that something isn't held back in the event that there's a commissioner unable to perform those duties.
Okay.
So let's look at the form, and I'm looking at a submission, and here, do you remember, was it?
It was toward the bottom, like second to last or
The
third
I
to
recommend
last.
this project proposal, that one, or is it one of the ratings? So
It was
the-
one of the ratings
Okay, so
that was
everything should
different
match. We have.
than it was additional. And, could be my memory is off, but that was my memory, that it was on the
Increasing.
rating, Survey Monkey that had an extra that wasn't in the project proposal.
So is it there's the increasing space for arts and culture question? Is that what you're,
Say that one more time, that might be it.
so there's one that's a rating for you all that's not on the submission sheet that people fill out, which is the increasing space for arts and culture.
Right, that's
Yeah,
what it was.
So that's something that you guys are using it as a rating, but didn't translate over to a question that we were asking them. And I think that was decided on when we were reviewing the matrix together. And, okay, is that a question we're asking them, or that's what the committee is looking at reviewing? So when you read it, you are deciding, are the cities and arts commission roles, what is it? Does the project help add needed space for the arts, and are the cities and arts commission roles key to success? And so that's more of an internal question that you're answering and rating this application on, and not necessarily something that they are answering.
And you're absolutely correct, that's right. I think what might make it clearer, and you know what, Liz, I think I'm remembering there was more than one of those, so I'll have to go back and look. Maybe we could, because it's not that it's buried, but it's included in with the questions that are on the proposal. So maybe we can separate it out so that we put our art commission hat, instead of looking at the proposal. And I think, I don't know, why I think that we had maybe 2 or 3 of those questions that we were just going to say was part of our evaluation. And then if they're just separate at the end or something, in their own.
I'm happy to move that one down on the Survey Monkey. That's not a problem. I just followed
I know.
from the plan, like the document that was approved from the plan, but I don't see an issue with moving that, just to separate it so it gives your brain that.
And do you remember, I thought we did that at least twice, if not 3
can
times, that
pull-
we said, oh gosh, that's really something more for the art commission to consider and not the proposal.
I can definitely pull the art plan and just look at
Yeah,
that
I'll
document really quick.
I can do that before our next meeting. I just thought
The
maybe you
other-
would have a memory of it.
No. I
We're going to have little nuances and hiccups, so the big thing is that this is good. This is very
And I'll
good.
double
It's
check,
awesome.
but I'm pretty sure everything from the rating sheet is in here. And then with the addition of the item, so it's number 3 on your rating. Oh, I stopped sharing. Let me just share this again to show you this. So this is what the commission decided at the last meeting to go ahead and add on to the rating sheet is I recommend that this project proposal, and then you have these 3 options, and you're going to say either move it forward, so it's discussed at the next commission meeting because it's appropriate for short-term projects with low or no financial ask, right, and meets that threshold. 2, hold it for the biannual January, July project meeting because it's a larger project that's going to have some long-term commitments or financial asks. Or 3, it does not move forward because it's scored low and does not meet goals outlined above. And so I want you to note that we've added that, and that's something that we're looking for when you're reviewing it, but that isn't necessarily what then is going to either push it forward or not, right? Because so what we want to look at is all of your scores on these are going to be weighted. And so then we're looking for that percentage, and really it is, overall, is this passing and going forward. But we did hear the commission's feedback of wanting to kind of be able to denote which one of these you're recommending overall. and then have additional notes. And so I have seen people utilize those additional notes, and so those notes will bring forward for discussion to the committee. You know, there were a couple of notes, okay, this would be a good thing that the committee would want to look at or discuss while they're considering this. And so one question I would like to ask of you tonight is, if this is the appropriate time. I see that we're reviewing these two, and it doesn't look like we have presentations for either this evening, which is okay. So I think that if we want to have this discussion and get your feedback, but when we're weighting these ratings, I think that it would be very helpful to decide what a passing score is, right? And so, you know, if you're in college and you're going to school, 60% or above is a D and you pass the class. Doesn't mean you get an A, doesn't mean the project's happening, right? But you're passing, like that's a passing score. And that would help the commission indicate, yes, this is something that has met our goals, our threshold to move forward in this process. And so I think that we should set what that is, so that when you get one, if it's rated really low, but then people are saying we should do it, you know, there's a disconnect there, and I think we need to take a look at that. Because if it isn't meeting the rating scores, then it really isn't meeting what we've put forward in the plan of a project that's suitable.
And I agree. There was a couple things, though, that we might need to bat back and forth before deciding that. So first, if we only have 6 projects and half of them are rated low, but we really are, I'm just, as an example, we may actually have room in our budget and our time frames to include maybe 5 of them. So it's like, okay, well then the rating maybe just prioritized and didn't really discount a project. So that's a possibility. So it might depend on what's our quantity of projects compared to budget and time that we have to fulfill. And then wondered too, so that section at the bottom, I loved it because I filled the box with comments. Where do the comments come into play? Because some of my comments on the last one from Maria is, there's some things, because I've had a verbal conversation with her, there's some things in her written proposal that I know are missing, that are not really outlined. So from her, if you didn't know anything and you just read this, what she proposed, it would probably be rated low. But if somebody helped augment what this really was and filled in where she didn't, then the rating would go up. So there's that scenario as well, is that the author may not be good at writing an explanation.
And I think that the hope then is that we're giving them that opportunity to come and speak, because yes, sometimes, especially maybe an artist, is much more, you can talk something through than filling a form or whatever that might be. And I think that that's why it's important that we offer that opportunity, but it's also not something that we're requiring people to do. So, we'll get the form that we have with the most information that they're giving us, and if they want to come and present on it and provide more. And I think that would be an appropriate time to bring up those comments and, have those comments shared out, or questions asked would be when they would come to present. And if they're not coming to present, we can still have back and forth with them. We can email them, hey, the commission had some follow-up
That could
questions.
very easily be an option of, I'm reading this and I don't have enough information on this. We're not going to say no to these, but we can turn around and say, why don't you come talk to us? And that's another one that could be added to the agenda, because we do have questions and you can help fill in the blanks.
As an example, I know Maria really, yes, they need site location support, but they also need help with a call for artists or a call for art from us as well, which is something that we could, since they're funding the project, we could get started on that sooner than later if we had our questions answered about what exactly they're looking for.
Everybody's got homework.
I have a question for, well,
Yeah.
you two are the only that have been here longer. Have we ever done a call for art?
No,
Do we have
In the
a,
beginning, we had.
not since I've been here. Because for that particular project, that is a next step. The same thing for Bruiser. For somebody who wants a Bruiser statue, okay? Anybody have an artist? Anyone? Bueller? So we have to figure that out and see how we can help and what we can do to help that person find that.
I have a general question then, maybe Brian, Liz, maybe you guys have a history on how an art, call for artist has been done here in Oak Harbor. Do we have a list of artists? Do we just put it in the paper like an RFP? Okay, you're shaking your head.
I don't have any history as far as Oak Harbor. I've done call for artists in other cities. It's done very similar to any kind of a request for proposal. The art commission that I worked with in that city at the time did not have, they were kind of about where you are now. They're developing the website. And one of the things that came out of that, we had gotten a National Endowment for the Arts grant, and used that for the call for art to place an art piece in a newly developed plaza. We did work with the local art foundation to help get some of those names, because they're rarely on like a municipal roster, right? So one of the things that was important to them during the development of the website was to develop this artist registry page. One, for helping us in future endeavors for call for artists from the city, if there was a project that you guys wanted to do that, but also to be a resource for the community that want to do consignment and commission projects, that they can go there and find local artists. So just kind of connected the community with the art community and help promote local artists. However, I think we have enough of a cultural engagement and artistic engagement here in the community that I don't know how often you'll say, you know what, we're not getting enough projects, we should come up with one on our own. I think you have a lot of people that have great ideas that are going to be coming and proposing that.
I think I get back in the very beginning days, is there's so many people in the community that want to do so much, and nobody comes to us. They just do it within their own means. Like, there are so many houses, but no one, it's like, let's go to the art commission or the city to ask for help or suggestions or anything first. They just go and apply for a permit through the city, or they go through the commerce, and they do it that way. I think it should be more city-based, that and then out, but like Brian said, there is a plethora, but it's just not more city-oriented. That makes sense.
Is there an example you can give me?
Like the chamber, the Main Street Association, like there are so many other people that'll just volunteer or set up a table for their events than, for city events. Or I don't think that they're not knowledgeable that we're here to offer that help.
Should have asked Richard while he was here, help us with call for artists. Because, where is if Maria wants an artist, And she said, I need help. Somebody comes in, Bruiser needs an artist. Nobody here can do anything. There's nothing we can do. We don't know. But
That's in the arts plan.
I know it.
Right.
That's in, because we heard that a lot, because I know Perry was mentioning that, of having, that big phone book with all these artists, and then the thing would go out saying, hey, here you go. So I know it's in the art plan, it's just a question of how do we implement that and press the button that said, ding, 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 ding. We're looking for an artist to build a statue for the Phil Am.
I think there's some state-sponsored groups or, artist councils and things like that you would direct those requests to.
But the question
And it
would be,
is in our-
does Maria turn around? Maria, here's who you got to call.
No, we would do it.
Yeah, or it's like us, which button do we press? And which phone do we pick up just to, hey, like, let's go, send it
I
out, here's
think
what
it's-
it's gonna look like. So, there's more to be done.
I think that was one of
Okay.
the forms that Perry has that put in our art plan, was it called the artist?
We,
And I think you would email it out to a art commission
right,
or an
to-
art council or something in the state or all over.
where's our Bubba network? Who are these people that, okay? So. Okay, with that, I'd like to move on to item D, the subcommittee updates. Is that okay with you guys? The two projects that we have here all need to be done. So everybody do your homework, and let's figure out when to, notably, we could probably have the Lion's Head could be on the agenda next, could be. We'll just see what Survey Monkey says. And with that, we'll move on to subcommittee updates. The first one on there is, I had given the roadshow to the Seroptimists last month, and in attendance at that meeting was the superintendent of the school district. She looked at the brief and the information, liked it, liked the message, and then asked what to do, and I said I would love to be able to make a presentation to your art teachers, your music teachers, your performing art teachers, and then she said, small world, we're having them meet for a work day on the 5th of December at the high school. They'll be there in the morning. She said, if you guys can provide lunch or something, you could have time to talk to them at like 11 o'clock or noon and basically present the art plan and let them know what it is and how they're part of it. And that's somebody who is certainly could be a major partner, should be a major partner. And then I mentioned that we've got Reese on, and the superintendent just, that sold the whole thing. So if you don't come, it ain't happening. That's like, from a romance, Joan Wilder, you know Joan Wilder? Reese Wassinger, you know Reese Wassinger? She's gonna be there? Yeah, she's gonna be there, I promise. So anyways, they require us to just buy lunch. I asked her, I'm gonna send her a note, like how many people, and I'm wondering if we could just put $500 towards that, if that's in our line, that we could say $500 to find out to buy lunch for the teachers.
How do we do that?
Oh.
I think that's doable. Let me just double check on that, though,
I-
and I'll get back.
Yeah.
Let's have, we probably should schedule a prep meeting for it.
Okay.
For it. So let's.
Because that's where we're going with this. One way or another, we're going to do this on because we've got that captive audience, and they may have ideas, and I know they have ideas that we don't have. And let's get some, because there might be some more of those forms getting filled out with, hey, can you guys help with this? I don't know what that says. Yeah. We're gonna get one Coca-Cola and a buttload of straws. So, and also, along with the subcommittee, what's the subcommittee that we met with today? Is it the outreach subcommittee? We did that this morning, right? Yep. So Maggie, Cynthia, Carla, and myself met to talk about, Maggie was with me and Tracy at the Seroptimus presentation, and Maggie had some ideas about improving the presentation. And our thoughts were that we had to, if you present it to an organization like the Seroptimus, no vested interest, and I shouldn't say it, that's coming out wrong. They just need to know and be supporters of this plan. But if you're going to go to Front Street or to the school or to the chamber, that is an entity that could be a partner that would have a lot of vested interest, and they would be interested in figures of what economic development is and how this helps their pocketbooks and what they can do. So she's got some ideas on that. And also about, we talked about from this other strategic meeting of having a postcard made, and some ideas that Maggie's gonna work on to get back to us on that, so we can start doing some stuff in the new year. Did I miss anything? Is that? Go.
We also talked about doing a page for the Facebook and Instagram dedicated to the Art Commission and what we're doing. So that was kind of exciting, I thought.
Yeah, she shared what the Historical Society is doing on Facebook with every Tuesday item. Yeah, the flashback. Yeah. And maybe there's something that we could do along those lines. So start and take advantage of all the mechanisms to do outreach. Tracy.
I'll just share with everybody too to add. So JR was faced with the presentation to be without, so the electronics went down. He had no visuals, no nothing, and just had to do it right off the top of his head. And he did fantastic, as always.
I'm not invited back to any Seroptis meeting. Okay. Do we have any other things from that line? Because if not, we're going to Parks and Rec Director updates. Tracy's on the mic.
Oh,
So are we gonna meet before this December 5th thing? Like, we're gonna get down the books, right?
Yeah, who's going to be presenting? Who's going to be presenting
Me,
at that? You? Okay.
but I'm inviting everybody.
Now, if you have more than 3, we need to notice it. So I need to make sure I have an RSVP on who's actually going.
Okay, we'll talk about that. You're in. Wait, does Reese count against our 3?
No.
Okay. All right, you want in? Okay, but we can still talk about it.
Okay, so Reese, Robert, and JR, we'll schedule, and
And
Valerie?
And Valerie.
Okay, and Valerie. All right, we'll schedule, I'll go with Maggie and we'll schedule just a quick prep meeting for it. Then we'll talk about the lunch.
Okay?
All right, let me make a note of that.
And that would help, because I'm still writing the email, and I probably had my finger on the periods button, but it's going on back to the superintendent, because she just emailed me before this meeting, and I told her we're working on it.
Okay.
Okay. Parks and Rec Director update. I know you're going to
All
say,
right, so-
hey, we're all over cleaning stuff up down at Windjammer Park. It's, this is number one thing no.
No,
Okay,
we're-
go ahead.
Okay, first, so we did not get any proposals for Chalk Fest. We had a meeting with Cynthia to talk about next steps. Terry Morgan let us know that he's going to do one more big event and then he's stepping away. He's retiring. Some of the feedback that we got from a few other vendors were that they felt the $70,000 was not enough to put on that event. So Cynthia's feelings on it was to let's walk away from it at this point. We can reevaluate that in the future. You have $58,000 that was allocated from the arts funds for that event, and then the LTAC funds. Obviously, we're not going over another round of that. So Cynthia will update the LTAC committee on that. That $58,000 will just go back into your fund balance. You have about $197,000 in fund balance. That could also be redirected if you want to, but we would have to go back to council to do that. We did get a proposal finally for installation of the last two Kid and Brew pieces, Three Totems and Gate of Inspiration. It's came in at our budget, so we're happy with that. Those are the evaluations are happening right now. We'll probably ask one or two of you, JR and maybe Cynthia, to do evaluation of the proposals as well, and then we can get that scheduled and finally be able to do a check mark. And I think at that point we would want to talk about just ribbon cutting and doing maybe a spotlight in the community with the Kid and Brew pieces now that they are all installed. So long time coming. Seems like a lot of these projects just take a long time to get to the finish line, but happily, I think we're just about there. And then we need to set a date for our priority planning and budgeting workshop. We had talked about either doing it in December or January. We want to do it about twice a year. The next one we would probably do in June or July as we get really into the meat of budgeting for the 2027, 2028 budget. So give me your thoughts on when you want to hold that meeting. Do you want to do that as a workshop in my office?
I think we
Location.
thought the workshop in your office with the whiteboard would be a good place to do it, and doing it in January so that we don't interfere with Christmas. And then it's just a question of picking out a good date.
Yeah, so our January commission meeting is going to be on the 8th. Do you want to do it before then or after?
Or instead of.
Could do that. Just do the commission, make the commission meeting a workshop. It's also an option.
Well, let's plan on doing that and address it again. If we have to address this in December at our meeting, we can. Because everybody can take a look at their calendars, think it through. Right now, the plan will be January 8th to do this big thingy.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Then you'll be able to kind of see what our agenda needs in December, and if you want to do both to be able to come back and do action items or not. So, sounds good. That's all I have. Liz, you have anything else?
I would just say that we are gearing up for another wonderful Wearable Art 2026, and the call for artists is now open. So on the Oak Harbor Senior Center Foundation website, ohscfoundation.org, you can access the call for art. So you yourself, if you would like to create a piece to be in the Wearable Art Show, or you know someone who might, please share that with them. The date of the event is May 16th for 2026. And again, thank you for your ongoing Art Commission support of that event. Oh, I have one other item. I'm going to also send this out in an email so it goes to the all commission, but our senior program coordinator approached me there. She's looking for help with our ongoing Monday afternoon older adult art group. So we've had an artist who has volunteered her time, and it's kind of it's a mix of artists, and everyone kind of brings their items and works on them, but then she'll come up with a project, a technique that she teaches the group, and they all do together, and then carry on their own. And she's retiring and moving on, so Carly Larson, our program coordinator, is looking at how to keep this program going, and we have an artist who's interested in doing once a month, and so we're looking for somebody else to volunteer one time a month on a Monday from 1 to 3, where you would come in and you would have a technique or a little project to do with the group to kind of just get inspiration going, share a little, technique of any type of art. Really, we're open to anything. And so then 2 out of the 4 Mondays would be kind of guided with this, meet with the artists and learn something and try something new. And then those other 2 are kind of bring your items and work on them sessions. So I'll send that out so it goes to everybody. But if anybody here is interested in volunteering once a month, Monday, 1 o'clock, to share your artistic skills, please let me know, and we'll work you through that process or talk more about what that looks like, or if you know somebody who might be interested. Thank you.
Let's go on to member comments. Reese?
I'm excited about this school board meeting.
You're going to get even more excited because I think that one of the subcommittees we would form a new subcommittee with you and Robert.
Yes.
As at a minimum, and throwing somebody else in
Have
there
that planning meeting. Yeah.
to do how we're going to involve the school and youth.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work. I appreciate it, both you, Brian, and Liz. I'm excited for the senior center volunteer thing. I think I might actually email you about some Christmas stuff that we've talked about before. Other than that, thank you guys for all coming tonight. I had a great time.
Robert?
Thank you for having me. I want to apologize for being absent past 2 meetings.
They all wanted to let you go right away, and I
Did they
said,
really?
no, he will be here next time.
God bless
Trust me.
you. God bless you. Yeah, life kind of got to me a little bit, but I'm glad I'm back. I'm excited, very excited. I need to play catch up, though. I've missed out on a lot the past 2 months, but future's bright.
Tracy?
Oh, gosh, Liz, I'm so happy. So thank you for putting all that work into that process. And we might have another one coming up. So with the call for artists situation, I don't know. I found it in the art plan. It says there's an appendix 3, and unfortunately, I guess I didn't print out the appendixes, but appendix 3 is supposed to be about call for art. So I'll take a look at that. We can look at,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, so now we'll need a little process around that.
Okay. Carla?
Hi. My time is up next month, and I am not going to rejoin, so I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Good
Well-
riddance. Oh, was my mic on? Oh, sorry.
You will be very missed.
I just hope that we live up to, we already decided that she's not really going away.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why she can't stay on a subcommittee. So we're keeping her on the subcommittee. And I've put her on, she's going to be on the new committee to provide cleanup in Windjammer Park. It's like,
I volunteered for that. I will.
I didn't know. Son of a. All right. As for me, I'll just say for future agenda items, next month, I would like to hear from the Creative Arts Foundation would like to present. And so I'd like to have them on the agenda to come and present what the Creative Arts Foundation is. And that's just another opportunity to network and share and start working with another prospective partner. The other one that I would like on the agenda is, we'll just keep art maintenance on the agenda as a running thing until it's fixed. Because we know we got to fix it, so let's do that. And I really like that idea that Richard had about the Angel Sister in, I said Dublin, maybe there is a Dublin, but that seems like a really good idea, and also I'll look forward to hearing what he says about who are all these volunteers that are going unrecognized, that we can all start scratching our head of coming up with a cool way to recognize all our, because maybe it is like when the school's doing the art walk, and we just like, hey, we're inviting all these volunteers down here to recognize them too, so. Anyways, Creative Arts Foundation Art Maintenance Update will be on the agenda at a minimum. You'll see this. Everybody's got homework to do. And with that, it's 6:16. I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second that motion, or first that motion, or make a motion to adjourn.